Alrighty, hello and welcome traders. Hey, it is Monday, April 7th, 2025. Hey, I'm at my place in Florida here, so excuse the appearance, the hat and everything, but I wanted to just jump on live today. I had a scheduled vacation for the week. Timing's everything, right? So the market goes haywire and you go on vacation. Didn't even have an AC adapter for my laptop, although I picked one up today, so I could at least crank a video out and work with our members as well on the Discord. But I want to share what I'm doing and what I did. And I talked about this last week, so no surprises. I did close out nearly everything in the trading account, not the long-term investing accounts. Those are fine. They go up, they go down. We'll be all good with those. But in the trading account, I closed out a Summit 2x losses, which is our stop. So we did stop out on a handful of trades. However, the 112 trades did excellent. We are still up for the year on 112 trades. And despite closing a few down, the 112C trade that we've been doing, the put debit spread walls, the put debit spreads that we have that are 100 wide, those covered a good chunk of the losses, and we were able to stop out at the kind of the normal 2x loss on the 112. So really happy with those trades. We'll keep doing that trade. In fact, I put a new one on today, so we're back in the market today. Stopped out as per the plan, and then we took off the PDSs for profits and some pretty nice profits as well, offset a good chunk of those losses. So really good shape there. We had a couple Strangles go down, so we're down just slightly on Strangles. Though two or three more wins of Strangles in the next month or so will put us back to even and up on Strangles. So those are good. Zero DTE still way up for the year, well over 11,000. The 120-day naked puts, those are up over almost 2,000 for the year. What we are down on is we had some spec trades that didn't go our way. We also had a bunch of SPY leaps that we had stacked down a bunch, and that's really what got us on this time. So it's always something. Last August, the 112s held up okay. What it was last August was the XL 112s and all the spec trades in futures. They got beat up, cost us that time. And this time it was SPY leaps, which I could have taken assignment on a handful of those. I could have rolled those as well. I could have stopped on a few. What we did was I stopped on, I had 10 tranches on. We stopped out on 6 of those. So instead of rolling them or taking assignment, I just decided to cut it because I just don't like this environment. I don't like the tariff environment. I don't like the way we're going about it. I don't mind the tariff policy thing. I just don't mind like the way we're going about this. And we're taking just a wrecking ball to things. And I want to just be out and let the markets kind of cool down or cook a little bit before I start throwing more naked puts on or even holding those naked puts. So to me, rolling is simply taking a loss and then opening a trade, usually in an asset that's falling and not looking too good. So I thought, you know what, I could close these and then roll, or I could just roll these for a credit and roll them out in time. But you know what, I'm not really confident about the out in time part. So I just closed them. And then I closed down the other 4 tranches that I had, which were not in trouble. They were not at 2x losses. I just closed them out. I took losses on them. They were down, but not a lot. So that exacerbated the loss on Friday. So we went to almost flat. Okay, I closed almost everything out. I just want to see this environment calm down. It's not a great trading environment. Hasn't been a good trading environment for the last month or so. We've done okay. We had a great month of February. March was a pretty difficult month of trading. And then, of course, you had the tariff tantrum thing here. So anyway, I thought it would be best to just close it out. What did I keep on? Well, I kept on my ratio hedges. Oh, and by the way, we had vol hedges on, which did not perform as expected because this wasn't the same type of an event that we had back in August. Back in August, we had a vol spike and then a quick mean revert off of that. But that vol spike caused panic. People sold. They sold at bad wide spreads out there. The markets didn't really get smoked too bad. They went down, okay, but quickly recovered. This is different. This thing has been just eking down significantly, 10% down, whatever. And then Friday, Thursday and Friday, just bad down days. And vol didn't really get to extremes. It actually got to the extremes today. So we'll take a look at vol on it, but we didn't get the vol spike like we thought. And we had a longer, more protracted down move, even though that was very, very fast. So those didn't help the vol hedges. So they didn't really perform well in here. We closed those out as well. Some of those for losses. So we took some losses on hedges too, which is not the greatest thing. But what did I keep? So we've got all of our ratio hedges on, which is our kind of our typical hedge that we worked. That actually worked well. A few of them were a little bit reddish today, but the ones that were more mature and were able to tweak, those things paid off on Friday. So I was able to actually book some profits on some of those hedges. And then I also kept all of my SPY long leaps that I write at the money covered calls on. So that in the money covered call, poor man's covered call trade that I do held up extremely well. Super excited about that trade. So much better than the SPY leaps. And we actually generate more money on this trade. So I'm going to be swapping those out. We'll stop the SPY leaps in this trade. We'll just keep up with the longer poor man covered call trades because I sell at the money calls, which on a down move have been paying off great, or really helping any of the losses that we see because I sell at the money. And then when we go up, I'm still selling at the money. I'm getting all the extrinsic value out. But even though the call itself may start to take a little bit of a loss, that loss is made up by the calls, which are 80 delta. So the calls are moving up at 80 delta, the longs. Meanwhile, the shorts at 50 delta, even though they may be moving up only at 50, so the longs move up faster than the shorts. Plus, the shorts have all of that extrinsic that comes out, and we keep the extrinsic. So overall, we end up winning on the trade, either up or down. I love the trade. In fact, what did I do today? I actually added 2 new trades in the account today. We added another SPY long leap. Okay? I'm not saying that the selling is over, that things are done. However, I did add another SPY leap, and I sold another covered call on that. So we've generated about $2,000 in cash for this week, expiring on Friday, taking advantage of the volatility in the near term, which is greater than farther out long term. So buying the SPY leaps wasn't as big of an expense because the vol is not actually as crazy out in time. And then what else did we do today? We added back in oil another 112 trade, which these have been doing really well for us for the year. So we were able to get some really good prices as oil getting a little extended. So let's take a look at a little bit of the markets, see what's going on out there, and I'll give you an update. But there's the trades. So I've already covered those. So you know what trades I'm in today. We're back in it. Are we going to bounce? Is this it? I don't know. We're not going to go jumping in crazy, but we're going to let the money work because we're traders and that's what we do. We learn from some of these things and we can get even better. But I want to let you know, I did go almost flat on Friday and I closed things that were at a loss, but not significant losses, just to get out till this thing blows over. You could have rolled. I could have rolled for credit, okay? But you're still going to take the realized loss. So why roll now while the market keeps getting worse? And those people that wanted to roll, well, overnight, they started to panic a little bit more last night because we were down 200 points. VIX was shooting up. People were starting to panic again. Okay, you were expecting, Jim Cramer was talking about, another Black Monday today. And then crazy things happened today. In fact, there's a rumor that came out that the White House might extend the tariffs 90 days, and the markets reversed 100 points in 1 minute. What does that tell you? Think a little bit about that. What does that tell you? It tells you that people are ready to go buy stuff if they get some clarity or some calmness or some level-headedness about this tariff crap that's going on. Okay, which means we might be closer to a bottom than we are of the top, because I think if this stuff starts to calm at all, you're going to see the market start to really move to the upside. So we'll see what happens. Okay, not betting the farm on it, but we're going to stay trading here because that's what we do. We are traders, and this is a trading account. This is not our long-term investing portfolio. I've lost 100% multiple times in the last 40 years. I've lost 50%. I've lost 30%. I've lost 40%. And every single time we've made that back up. Okay. It's going to happen. Okay. You're going to take losses. The key here is, do you learn from those losses? And do you stay consistent in the market and keep trading? Okay, so we're not going to do a whole lot different than we were, but we'll tweak our strategies and maybe some of our allocations. But I'm going to tell you that 112C worked fantastic. The ratio hedges worked great. Okay, the Strangles were fine. We took them off at our normal losses, so I'm okay taking 3 losses. Okay, we'll make that back up in 2 months. So I'm all good with that. And then on our SPY performance covered calls, those worked great. The SPY leaps got into trouble because this was just a once in a decade type of a fast sell-off, one of the quickest sell-offs in history, one of the biggest 1 day, 2 day declines in history. So you're dealing with history here. Okay, doesn't mean you should throw everything out, throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't do that. All right, let's take a quick look at the charts, see where we are here. You can see what I thought was interesting on today. If you saw the move that we had coming down here, you can see we hit this green line. Well, what is that green line? That is the 50% fib, okay, retracement level. Okay, so we came down exactly to that level and bounced off of it today. Pretty indecisive candle today. If we get any follow through tomorrow, I think things will look up. ES is actually moving higher in the after hours today. So overall, not too shabby. If we look at the weekly version of this, so let me open another daily chart here, and I want to tweak this to be a weekly. Okay. So if you look at this chart, okay, and you go all the way out here, back into the 2022 lows of the market, okay, where things sold off. We hit the lows of the market in 2022. Okay, when we hit that low, okay, all the way through the pivot highs that we just had at the beginning of this year, okay, we exactly hit the 50% fib retracement on the weekly. So I'm just showing that here on the daily chart. I think that's a pretty nice piece. It's also a bit of a pivot point support just below that. And if we look a little bit lower, let's go back to the weekly. And then you also have the 200-day moving average on the weekly, not too far away. So I think all of these things are good to take a look at on the ES. So I'm fine with that. Don't love where we are, but I think it's as good a point as any, at least to get a little bit of a breather. Am I saying that we only go back up? Probably not. But I think if we get a bit of a rebound and then maybe come on back up here to this 23.6 fib, somewhere in this area here, which is the previous break that we have, exactly lines up with the previous lows. Okay, I think that, and then we look to see, does this trend line, okay, hold up? Do we roll back over? But we could get potentially a violent bounce like we had last time, okay, and then it could roll over again, and just start to consolidate in here. So a lot of times we just stay inside fibs here. So we could consolidate inside these fibs. We could continue to go lower. We'll see. I think we'll watch the volume on this bounce, but the H pattern totally played out as expected. Pretty much the exact move depth-wise we were expecting happen. We just didn't expect it to happen in 3 days. We expected it to maybe take a little bit more time. So there's that. So let's run through, we'll get these off, leave that, and let's just run through kind of the daily, weekly. As I mentioned, we're also right at this upper trend line too. So we bounced off the trend line as well as the fib, as well as close to the 200-day here. As good a spot as any to try to plant a flag. We'll see what happens. I'm not calling for major rallies, any of that stuff. I think just be cautious here, but we are starting to get oversold. We can stay there. We can see a lot of weakness. Are we heading into a recession? I don't really think so, but it's all going to be this tariff driven. If we start to ease some policies here, I think the market's got a lot of juice waiting to go back into it, and I think we'll avoid that recession potentially there. If not, then it happens and we'll continue to trade through that. All right, we take a look at oil. Oil has also had just a devastating 3 days. Nice doji candle today. I'm going to close this thing out here. So if you're looking at oil, absolutely a downtrend. Oversold readings on stochastic momentum and the RSI on the weekly. We're also oversold on the daily. I thought being as oversold as we are, this is not a bad spot to take a look at. We came well off our lows. We ranked higher. We were kind of just in no man's land. We'll see what happens, but we'll do the 1-1-2 trade. So we have no risk to the upside if oil does rally. And then if we do sell off, we sold all the way down to the 53, I believe, on this thing. So taking a quick look. Yeah, 43. So we have the 43 calls on that thing. Okay. So not too shabby there. We'll take that 43. We're at 61. We'll see what happens as we go into it. So we got that trade back on as well. So again, a nice oil trade. Gold, nice pullback coming close to this uptrend line here. Okay. That if we extend that gold uptrend line, pretty close to it, right at this anchored VWAP. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to trade gold right now. I'm going to let it just chill. I don't need to jump back in on a boatload of trades. We did unwind, last week's big move to the upside. We completely unwound that in 1 day today on bonds, but still, bonds hanging in there, back to a decent area. Back to where I think it might be not a bad strangle. I think we just let this thing cool down for a day or so, and we can jump back in. I also wanted to touch base on a few other things quickly. Let's take a look at the VIX. So the VIX today, you can see here, we got close, okay, to that August 5th high. Okay, we got all the way up to 60 today before we backed off to 46. It is still significantly elevated, so I think you have to watch what you're doing. In here, volatility still elevated, which makes me cautious about doing anything. Even though as premium sellers we love high volatility, I'm going to be very cautious until VIX starts to drop down. But I want you to take out a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to write this down, or a pen, or whatever you'd write with. Okay, volatility will always, always, always mean revert, but price doesn't have to. Okay, which means we will see this volatility, even though we spiked up to 60 today, up to the 40s, which wasn't enough to trigger volatility hedges. Wasn't enough of a spike. Okay, wasn't bad enough. Okay, today was getting close to bad enough, and it was actually decent in the morning for vol hedges to start to get it. But as they, it sold back off, really put a little damper on that. So there's where we are on volatility. We'll keep an eye on things as we go. The Qs off of their lows on the session. If we look at the small caps, TNA here, we can look at the IWM off of their lows, not as good looking as the SPY. Nothing, in my opinion, to do here on this. And then 2 days of the dollar strengthening overall, but I'm not getting too excited about that right now. So long story short, we closed a lot of stuff out. We just reload. We're back into it. We make a couple tweaks and improvements, but I'm looking at a nice green up day for the portfolio today. So we had a nice up day today, despite all the craziness in the market. I'm going to take that nice green day today. Let's see if we can parlay that into a great, nice green week. We'll see you guys later. Stay safe out there. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.